So with the Winter Convergence update that New World received just a few days ago, something very cool was added to the game, and as you will have probably guessed by the thumbnail and title, that is of course the Smelters set. Now previously this was only attainable to players through the trade skill aptitude. If you went onto your trade skills and you got your smelting up to this third aptitude, it could sometimes drop you a potential recipe to be able to craft this smelting gear. Now, with this update, what has been added to the game is these smelting pieces dropped by mobs. So, first things first, where do we actually get these drops from? Well, the drops are going to be over in Brimstone Sands, and it brings obviously into account this whole new zone. And it's actually pretty local to the settlement itself. The new Corsica capital is right here, and if you literally go to the left outside, anybody that's done chess runs will know the area of Heliopolis and of course Solarium Kepri, and that is going to be where all 5 of the drops are contained. So what you'll want to do is head into this area here. One of the drops is going to be from the ogre on this platform to the side, one from the ogre in the middle, and one from the ogre to the left. I'll show you guys some gameplay in the background now so that you can actually understand what I'm talking about by the ogre mobs. And of course we're going to go through and look at the specific names and which one drops which piece in a second as well. Now if we just head on over to New World Database, again I will leave a link in the description for this website and particularly the smelters gear if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. But as you guys can see, the first thing here is going to be the Smelting Smock. Now this one is dropped by Bethquet of the Cudgel. This guy is on the right hand side on the platform, as you guys can see as I illustrated in the game. He'll be on this side, and as you guys can see from the gameplay, you'll simply go up. You will want around 5 to 10 players to be able to do this effectively, as it is a level 66 elite zone. But of course, if you've got someone tanking or at least somebody healing the group, you should be good to go, and you're going to go in and you're going to kill this guy. He does respawn pretty quickly every 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes it's quicker, but that's generally what you're looking for, and he has the chance to drop the Smelting Smock. Now, next is the Smelting Mitts. These are dropped from the Mountain Colossus Scar Geb. Now, this guy is the one that is right in the middle platform. So again, on the same level as the previous boss, but just in the middle of the two. You'll see the chest down the bottom with the mages on, and then there's also a chest up the top. It's the bit up the top, he will spawn there. And again, he has the chance to drop you the Smelting Mitts. And then finally, the Smelting Pants. These ones are dropped by the Montucal of the Shield. This guy is on the left-hand side, so the opposite side to the first one and left of the middle one, right here on the map, as you guys can see. And again, this one is just something that you want to kill on rotation. Now, these 3 do respawn within a couple of minutes of one another. There will be a slight bit of downtime if you're not killing any of the other mobs in between. However, you can go around, get some weapon XP or whatever else you want to do, and that is a very nice rotation to be able to farm them out. Now, looking back at the set here on New World Database, as you can see, that is only, of course, 3 out of the 5 pieces, and those are the easier 3 to get, hence why on your server, the prices of these on the trading post might be a little bit lower. If we go ahead and look at the Smelters Shoes, these are actually dropped by Thunder Atenus Atunum, who is the boss that you spawn at the top of the Valley of the Gods, so right at the top, up the stairs, opposite to where the cats are, so the cats are on this platform here. It's the guy right at the top, which you will need to have all of the glyphs in Brimstone Sands unlocked in order to spawn him, and again, this has to be during the day. Now, while I show you guys some more gameplay in the background here, it's worth noting, like I said, this does have to be during the day, as this guy does have an alternative spawn, which is the Risen Storm version, which happens if you spawn them at night, and it is around a 60 to 70 minute respawn or resummon timer. Now, you will know whether this spawn is available or summon is available. 1, if you have all of the glyphs in Brimstone Sands unlocked, and 2, it will either be blue or green glowing effect around this depending on what your settings are there, and you'll be able to see that you're able to summon that. Now again, you will want at least 5 to 10 players to make this a smooth run, but it is something that you can farm out. You will just have to wait for the respawn timer. Now finally, here we are looking at the Smelters headgear. This is dropped by Dawn's Chariot Kepri, which, you guessed it, is of course in Solarium Kepri. Now, of course, a lot of you guys will know where that is, but for those that don't, this is what it looks like. It's inside the Kepri arena. You or someone in the group will need access to the rune or the glyph that lets you open the door to get inside there, and you will essentially need to fight the boss and hope that it gives you the drop. Now, again, a couple of things to note with Kepri. It does need to be daytime in order order for him to spawn. He will also be on a respawn timer. I'm not 100% sure of exactly what this time is, but it isn't instantaneous, so you will need to wait. Again, check in chat for both of these options, be it the top guy or Khepri for these spawns is going to be crucial, and at the moment, because this set is fairly new, you should see a lot of that. Also, the Khepri area is incorporated in almost all chest runs that happen in Brimstone Sands, and it does often get spammed in recruiting, at least on my couple of servers in the EU that I play on, when he is alive, because he does have some other good drops too. So this should be pretty easy to find out, and hopefully you can get a group together and farm all of those pieces up. Now, it is worth noting, like I mentioned towards the beginning of the video here, that you can still get the pattern smelting clothing, which comes from, of course, the package of specialized smelting materials. Now, like I mentioned, you will need to get your trade skill aptitude up to a full 3rd in order to be able to get one of these. It is only the 3rd crate which drops them, and they are bound on pickup, so in other words, you will not be able to buy them off the trading post. However, the gear that you make with them, you can. Now, as an example, on my server, a couple of things to note. For example, the mitts are selling for around 5k right now, pants around a similar price, and the smock is the cheapest one at currently around 2k. Obviously, prices will vary from server to server, but if we go ahead and look at something like the headgear, this is going to be nearly 13,500, and of course the shoes, which is the other rarer drop, is nearer 10,000. So in other words, if you are able to farm these, great, that's fantastic. I would also recommend always doing Solarium Khepri when he is up, because if you do get those drops, that will be even better. But additionally, if you do manage to get your hands on one of those smelting clothing patterns, then for example on my server, I would go ahead and make that into the headgear if I do already have all of the pieces, because that is of course the highest price. But if you don't, then that is probably something I would wait and invest in through getting a trade skill aptitude recipe for clothing, rather than buying unless you have a lot of gold, because 13,500, especially if you're on fresh start, can be quite steep. So it depends on what you want to do, but that is another option that you have there. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you have enjoyed, please do drop me a subscribe. If you like the video, there is a button for that down below, and other than that, we'll catch you guys again very, very shortly on a brand new upload. So take care and peace.